Your movement is your responsibility. That's a statement that might rub some people the wrong way. And I want to explain myself. So it's really common, and I've seen this a lot with athletes, is that something starts hurting, they don't know what to do about it, and so then they go consult an expert, and like they'll go to the doctor, chiropractor, acupuncture, something like that. And there's nothing wrong necessarily with doing that at times to treat something that is, an acute issue that you have. And I'm going to suggest to you that a lot of the issues that come up with your movement are more within your control than you think. And the whole idea is that when you empower yourself to understand the way your body was designed to move, and then feel for yourself, like, where do I feel tight? Where do I feel extra tension? What brings on that extra tension? How am I living my life in a way that is creating this excess tension for me? There's a whole bunch of questions like that when you take the time to answer them for yourself, you'll go like, oh, wait, I have a lot more control over this than I used to think. And so with this whole course, my goal is to empower you to understand how your body is supposed to move, how you can, the things that you can do to help set yourself up so that you can move in these really good, efficient patterns. With that comes increased body awareness. And so I think what's really common is that people just, especially athletes, type A athletes, we just want to do the sport, right? Like, I just want to go running. And if you're not thinking about the way that your body's moving, or like what's getting tighter, I'm just going to ignore that and pretend like it's going to go away. But then like your hamstring starts hurting, and then before you know it, your Achilles starts hurting, and before you know it, your foot starts hurting, and you're not thinking that like all that's connected, you're missing out on an opportunity to really help yourself. So if we think about this idea of like, if you follow this course and you do all these things and you start becoming very aware of how it is you're moving, what will happen is you will become more talented. Let's take a minute to think about, what does that mean? Let's think about imagine somebody who you just think like, she's really talented, or he has a lot of talent. What is it about that person that allows them to express their talent? I bet they have stacked joint posture. I bet they breathe well. I bet they're not carrying a whole bunch of excess tension. And if you watch them move, it just looks like they're moving really well. And meanwhile, the people who sit at a desk all day and stare at a phone all day and don't go out of their way to combat that with all sorts of moves and exercises that open themselves up, then it's like over time we become restricted. And from that position, I'm not going to be moving in a way that makes me or anyone else think that I am talented. But you have more talent than you think. It's literally just a matter of setting your body up so that your joints are stacked, so that you're letting go of tension, so that you are free to move the way you did when you were a kid. And if you look at like the way that little kids move before they've had a chance to get all tight and wound up and bound up, and before like life came at them and they were traumatized and they're trying to make themselves smaller and like they're bracing for impact, before all that happens, they have perfect run form, right? You had perfect run form too, likely when you were a kid. So it's like, what we're doing is we're just going to try to help you and your body remember what that was like by removing these restrictions so that you can access the talent that is naturally in there. I promise that it is. The last part of this that I want to emphasize with this your movement is your responsibility part is that knowing is not doing. And with this course, you can, if you want, you could sit and you could just watch the videos and you could read the explanations, and then you could go next, watch the video, read the explanation, and go next, watch the video, read the explanation, and you will not find your inner talent if you do that. This course is about doing. So while we will spend some time where I'll be teaching you the things that you need to learn, then it will be up to you to go practice those things and to find time in your day, 5 minutes, maybe up to 10, but it's up to you to follow through and actually practice these things and then be paying attention to how am I feeling and knowing that the way you move is your responsibility. So guess what? If you spend all day sitting, if you have a long commute, so you're sitting in your car and then you go to an office job where you are sitting and you're staring at screens all day, and then you come home and you have more time on your trainer, or if you're somebody who is traveling a lot and you spend hours and hours on airplanes and you find that like I'm really tight and restricted, then it's up to you to use the information that you're learning here to open yourself up so that you can move the way that you're able to move.